Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Territories Podcast. I'm your host, Troy. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a badass tag team from the 1990s that these two guys were rivalries as well, but man, they were a heck of a tag team. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Dead Steve Williams. These two guys was a rivalry at one time. They became a tag team and a very successful tag team as well. And there you see them, Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams. Now these two guys was a big rival in the UWF back in around the 86 time frame, 87. And actually Dr. Death Steve Williams ended up breaking Terry Gordy's arm at one point in time. I think what happened was Gordy got injured in a car accident, so they had to kind of kayfabe that a little bit. It ended up becoming a situation where Terry Gordy reluctantly had to give up the UWF Heavyweight Championship of the world, and it went to the one man gang. But Dr. Dusty Williams was in a big hunt for that UWF Championship. He finally gets it actually from Big Bubba Rogers, who defeated one man gang after Skandar Akbar turned on one man gang. And so basically, what happened was these two were in a big rivalry for a while. And it actually started back up again around 89, I believe it was. And what happened was Terry Gordy, of course, with the Free Birds, with this version, would had Michael Hayes and Jimmy Jam Garvin, and they had a rivalry going on with the Midnight Express that brought Dr. Death Steve Williams into the fold. And when that brought Steve Williams into the fold, it kind of gave it like 6 man tag matches and stuff like that. So it really worked out good for that time frame. They ended up doing War Games in the Great American Bash of '89. So now we're going to transition and talk about their tag team success. Okay, so Terry Gordy and Steve Williams, they had a little bit of success as a tag team back in 1987. Now, this is something I didn't know when I was doing my research on it. I did not realize in 1987 that they had teamed up, and they had teamed up to face off against Dick Murdoch and Eddie Gilbert. I think it said about 5 or 6 matches they had, and winning pretty much every one of them. So that was kind of a brief stint that they had as a tag team for a while, but then it wouldn't be again till around 1990 when they would go to All Japan Pro Wrestling, and they took off there. People absolutely loved Terry Gordy and the Doc. They were just way over. They were a big time tag team over there, and they were known as the Miracle Violence Connection at one time. They became the All Pro Japan Tag Team Champions, defeating Tenru and Stan Hansen. Tenru, I remember from around 19, oh, I guess it was 89. He was a 6 man tag team champion with the Road Warriors for a bit. And I've kind of touched on that in the past. So they had a lot of success going on in Japan, but they brought that success over to WCW, where they became the World Tag Team Champions in WCW, and they're the would have a big rivalry with the Steiner brothers. They would also enter a tournament that would see them become the NWA World Tag Team Champions. So they were the only team, well, not the only team, but the first team to become both WCW and NWA World Tag Team Champions. They would have a brief reunion in ECW in 1996, but their most successful run was in the WCW. Uh, I think it lasted maybe about a year or so in WCW. They were very successful. They ended up feuding with Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham as well. But this tag team was very good. And if you never had a chance to really look at them and watch these guys were very successful as a tag team and also very successful as singles wrestlers as well. Terry Gore being the UWF World Champion, along with Steve Williams being the UWF World Champion at one time as well. And the thing is, when you put those two together, they were a heck of a tag team. Forget Freebirds, forget the Varsity Club, which I'll touch on real quickly. Steve Williams did find some success in the NWA when he went heel in around 1988. He joined the Varsity Club where he teamed with Kevin Sullivan to become the U.S. Tag Team Champions. If I remember correctly, I think it was I want to say it was a Fantastics they beat in a tournament final, or either that or it was Eddie Gilbert and Ron Simmons. I cannot remember. I have to go back and look at that. But either way, they became the U.S. Tag Team Champions. And then later on, Steve Williams would become World Tag Team Champions with Mike Rotunda and a few of the Road Warriors. It wouldn't be long after that, around '89, when he left the Varsity Club and turned face again. And I talked about him joining the Midnight Express and being managed by Jim Cornette for a while against the Freebirds. If you've never seen the War Games match that had the Freebirds and Small and SWAT team versus the Road Warriors and Midnight Express and Steve Williams, you ought to go check that out. It's from Bash '89. It's a real good match there. I like the War Games anywhere. I think that was a pretty good one. But Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Terry Gordy as a tag team was very, very successful. Very, very good. I remember watching them and watching the progression with them and the Steiners, and also with Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham. And honestly, it was wonderful to see those two as a tag team. I was pulling for them, even though we're heels, and I was not much of a heel fan favorite there. I guess you say I didn't care much for the heels back then. But Steve Williams and Terry Gordy, man, they were a heck of a tag team. Hey guys, comment below about what you remember of that tag team. Were they one of your favorite tag teams? I've actually put some clips up of Steve Williams and Terry Gordy on TikTok. I've got some real good positive comments out of them. People remember them. People do like them. And if you haven't joined me on TikTok, it's in my link tree if you'd like to go over and check that out. I put up short clips, mostly from 1980s, but some late 70s and early 90s as well. A lot of good conversation that goes on over there. But guys, I'm going to leave you here with this one. These two guys here, Terry Gordy and Bam Bam, Terry Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams, two of the best tag teams in professional wrestling history. Next time, guys. See you soon.